Republican vice presidential candidate Paul Ryan drew nearly 1,400 people to a small business in North Raleigh to talk about presidential candidate Mitt Romney's solution to this economic crisis. Just as importantly, it also gave Republican candidates for council of state valuable face time with voters. Those races are important because that panel of the highest elected executive officers makes a lot of critical decisions. Dan Forrest is the Republican running against Democrat Linda Coleman for lieutenant governor. He said this time in history is our 1776.
General Anthony Wayne, one of our Revolutionary War generals in the Battle of Stony Point, it was one of our great victories. General Anthony Wayne sent a letter to General George Washington. It was a very simple letter. He said this, he said, "General, our officers and men behaved like men determined to be free. Our officers and men behaved like men determined to be free. My question to everybody in this room, are you ready? Are you willing? Are you prepared to behave like men and women determined to be free?"
Ed Goodwin was one who took advantage of the moment. He's running against incumbent Democratic Secretary of State Elaine Marshall.
I'm running for office for the same reason you're here today. Failed leadership in Washington, D.C. resulted in failed leadership in Raleigh, and it trickles all the way down to the local level, the cities and the counties. We cannot take any more of this failed leadership. I'm sick and tired of leaders who will not admit their mistakes, who will not deliver on their promises and not do what they say, and then whine about it and blame it on somebody else.
Deborah Goldman is the GOP candidate for state auditor, facing incumbent Democrat Beth Wood. She gave the crowd part of what she called her Imagine speech.
Imagine a North Carolina that is free of fraud. Imagine a North Carolina that is free from the stranglehold of bureaucracy. And imagine a North Carolina that no longer bows to cronyism.
As for Ryan, he didn't disappoint those who came to hear him. He said Romney is aware of the same problems facing North Carolina.
Let's look at the record that faces us. Right here in North Carolina. North Carolina, when we think of it, is a state with so many resources, so much talent, a great university system, great football, great basketball. I won't pick sides. It's a state that's known for its research. It's a state that's known for its dynamic economy. It's a state that right now has a 9.6% unemployment rate. That's unacceptable. We are not just going to point out the failed leadership by President Obama. We're going to offer you solutions.
Ryan said a Romney administration would bring jobs back to the state.
Joe Biden said the other day that the middle class is in the midst of a recovery. President Obama said that the private sector is doing just fine. This is the Obama imaginary recovery. Our plan is designed to get people back to work, to increase take-home pay, to create jobs. And if we get this economy growing like we know we can, growing at 4%, then we can create 12 million jobs in this country. That's about 355,000 jobs right here in North Carolina.
Meanwhile, the Congressional Budget Office warned the economy would shrink by at least 0.5% and unemployment would rise by nearly a full point if Bush-era tax cuts expire and automatic spending cuts go into effect. I'm Matt Willoughby.